Organizational Systems Final Project, Christina Sawyer, Southeastern University, EDU 6053, Dr. Hawkins. Organizational systems play a huge role in the development and ongoing success of any organization. However, the organizational leader is ultimately responsible for the planning, leading, organizing, and controlling of the organization. PLOC theory can be considered the hardware or structure of a leader's operational plan. Likewise, Singh's 5 disciplines implies that there is an intersective guiding force that is essential for successful leadership. In addition, the Galbraith-Star model and single lateral organizational theories indicate the need for behavioral structure that can be manipulated or adjusted to create desired results within an organization. System theory is an overall understanding of how many parts of a whole work together to create an effective organization. Lastly, in this presentation, I attempt to correlate the above systems organizations with the current functioning of my current administration and leadership team. PSLT problem-solving leadership team were asked to reflect on their own personal views of how systems organizations were currently functioning or operating within our organization. Team members reported through the lens of their own personal development of the systems, as well as how they viewed their structures or operating within the parameters of the current PSL team and their current leadership role. There was a 100% response rate for the survey. Average PSL team experienced less than 5 years. Responses were obtained from the resource teachers, administration, ESC coordinators, and school psychologists, counselor, and social work. Section 1, 5 discipline results at a glance. Regarding the mental model, personal mastery, 86% said they were somewhat skilled. Collaborative learning, 86% said they were somewhat skilled within the mental model role of the 5 discipline. Regarding PSLT, 71% said that they were developing when it comes to personal mastery. 42% said they were effective when it comes to when the PSLT was effective when it comes to shared vision. 28% said the shared vision was ineffective when it came to PSLT. Team learning, 57% said they were ineffective. The team process of learning, team learning, was ineffective, and 28% said that the team was ineffective when it came to team learning. And lastly, 57% said they were skilled within the systems thinking aspect of 5 disciplines, and 29% said they were highly unskilled. Mental models correlating with personal mastery and collaborative learning suggest that 86% of the PSLT members use this model somewhat effectively rather than effectively. Shared vision results indicate that 42% are engaged with the outlined vision, shared vision, whereas 28% feel that the shared vision is unengaged. Personal mastery results indicate that 71% of PSLT members operate within this parameter during the PSLT meeting and within their own leadership role outside the team. Team learning data suggests that 57% of members believe this process is operating effectively, whereas 28% of the team members believe this process is operating ineffectively. Systems thinking results indicate that the most severe degree of inconsistent data, while 57% of the team is somewhat skilled, the remaining data suggests that this process implementation is rated negatively amongst the remaining PSLT members. Mental models. My assumptions are based on the information and questions I received from teachers during resource meetings and ongoing literacy projects within the reading department. Personal mastery. Every year I use new opportunities to reflect, practice, and gain new perspectives regarding the opinions of others. This helps shape my yearly objectives. Personal mastery is ongoing. Deadlines typically influence this. In education, there will always be an opportunity to try something new and different within the higher degrees. Building shared vision. Shared vision begins with pre-planning and should last throughout the year. As the year progresses, many times this message becomes muddied due to other ongoing initiatives that take over. This process is often reviewed and discussed at monthly staff meetings. The effective leader must be able to take a step back and look at the big picture and how effectively the organization is working toward a common goal. Team learning. I often bring up ideas I feel would benefit our school and feel that my opinions are validated. Many of our leadership members meetings have been uncomfortable this year. Systems thinking. This process is a must within the role I work with every day. Our team does a great job of breaking down a project and sharing the responsibility. I like to give pieces of information to teachers so that they are not overwhelmed. I then try to increase their knowledge from where they are. A truly effective leader operates in a proactive model and has the ability to recognize barriers and have a plan to overcome them. A highly effective leader must be able to have a deep working knowledge of the interrelationships of your organization. Section 2, Organizational Systems. In this section, I'll be discussing the STAR model, model organization, single business model, and system theory. STAR model survey questions. What process would you consider to be administration strengths and weaknesses? How would you rate your current organization's alignment with STAR model? When I surveyed the administration and how they felt, where they were weak and strong, and they were able to write that in for me. And I also, on a Likert scale, asked the PSL team where they thought the strengths and weaknesses of the administrations lie within these two questions. Strengths. I feel that our strongest process is strategy. We have reviewed strategies and have an understanding of our formula for success. The people process is administration's strength this year because they have taken specific teacher talents and used it to strengthen the academics of our academically challenged students and strengthen certain academic disciplines in our school. 44% of respondents reported that strategy was the administration's strongest area of the STAR model. Weaknesses. I feel our weakest point is structure. There have been many power struggles throughout this organization. Process is our weakest area this year. There needs to be more sharing of information between grade levels and between PLC administrators. There also needs to be an ebb and flow of information between all stakeholders. 44% of both structure and process aspects of the STAR model were considered to be administrators' weakest areas. 78% of PSLT members reported that there is a correlation between the process of the STAR model implementation and administration's overall leadership. The PSLT members were asked to rank the implementation of the lateral process and rate how current subgroups or teams operate as separate yet distinct entity. 50% of the PSLT members related the lateral process as somewhat effective as it relates to this process. This year has presented many challenges: new state testing, new district benchmark tests, and new testing protocols. These massive changes have made this process much harder to implement. PSLT was asked to rate the current administration's ability to create a customer-centric organization. 57% of team members reported that the administration effectively strives to provide the best solution for parental needs throughout the organization. Dealing with our special population, it is imperative that I remain diligent in making sure I pacify parents in order to maintain structure and order. The administrative-parent relationship can be fragile, and I must maintain an ongoing working relationship with all my parents. Leadership team members were asked to rate the effectiveness of PSLT as it relates to systems theory framework. 83% of the members agreed that PSLT is a dynamic part of the specific systems that ensure school-wide success within a network of interconnected social systems at our school. 33% of disagreed or highly disagreed that PSLT clearly defines pertinent school-wide objectives and provides clear feedback to staff and stakeholders with regards to ongoing exchanges of information. 50% of the team members rated the productive process as being engaged and unengaged with relation to insight into intricate operations and extend services beyond the physical organization. 50% of team members rated the energizing process as being unengaged when it comes to a semi-permeable open system that allows for an ebb and flow of energy throughout the organization. 73% of team members rated enabling as unskilled when it comes to the parts of the organization working together to establish equal boundaries in order to work in harmony with all parts affecting the whole. 73% of team members rate development process as unskilled as it relates to the differentiation of growth and development of all parts of the subgroups within the organization. Section 3, Planning, Leading, Organizing, and Controlling the PLOC. Administration was asked to reflect on their individual implementation of PLOC as it relates to the organization. 100% of administration consider themselves to be somewhat skilled in the areas of planning, leading, organization, and controlling at this time. Administration unanimously stated that their weakness or area of improvement were in controlling and organizing. Conversely, the area in which they feel they have mastered is planning. Planning is an area of growth for me. Many times during the day, a leader has potential to get overwhelmed by disturbances in liaison situations. This is time-consuming. Our time consumption can take away from monitoring important information. Leadership team survey results consisted of rating the administration's ability to improve PLC's implementation within the organization. 83% of the PSLT members highly agreed that administration effectively implements the planning process of the PLOC. 100% of the PSLT members highly agreed that the administration effectively implements the leading process of the PLOC. 67% of PSLT members highly agreed that administration effectively implements the organizing process of the PLOC process. 50% of PSLT members disagreed that administration effectively implements the controlling aspects of PLC process. Conversely, 50% of the PSLT members agreed that the administration is ineffectively implements the controlling process. Correlation data suggests that the 5 disciplines, concepts of shared vision, and system thinkings have a possible correlation with the planning aspect of the PLOC model and suggest possible areas of concern. Systems theory data indicates that the leading and organizing aspect of the PLOC suggests possible areas of concern. The data presented suggests that the leadership of my school has several areas of weaknesses that need to be addressed. The planning, leading, and organizing components of the PLOC suggest that leadership would benefit from reading 5 SING's 5 disciplines in Galbraith's STAR model in order to glean additional personal insight. SING's disciplines, which are introspective and team-oriented, would greatly impact the effectiveness of the PSLT as it pertains to the shared vision survey data. Galbraith's STAR model, which is employee behavior driven, would add additional insight into improving the overall function of the school and leadership team and its effectiveness, as evidenced by the PSLT data, which suggests that the process and structure are administration's weakest areas. Systems theory data suggests that the overall comprehensive understanding of the school's integrated units and how they affect the daily operations of the school was needed improvement.